Hello and welcome. This is Diana and you are watching Holistic Vibes. This is going to be a general reading, so take what resonates, leave the rest. As you know, time is an illusion and energy is fluid, right? And this is an exercise for you to utilize your own wisdom and your own discernment. My goal here is to just kind of give you some insight and to help you feel a little bit lighter. Because the truth is for those of you that don't know, I move energy. I am an alchemist and a seer. And so just us having this interaction is shifting your energetic frequency, right? Opening up the areas that need to be opened. So you set your intention. For those of you that know how to ground, as always, ground, opening up your feet chakra, allowing the energy to shift where it needs to. So some of the things are that, you know, this is a heart-opening process, and you may think, come on, you're just giving me a little bit of insight. But the truth is with clarity and with the possibility of jumping onto a higher timeline, you are shifting your frequency. You are raising your vibration by just gaining a little bit of clarity. And so honestly, like, that's my overall intention and desire to just get you to where, number one, you're not necessarily taking what I'm throwing out there as 100% truth, right? It's you separating with you. If something comes up in a reading that's like, oh, your spouse is da-da-da-da-da, right? And I'm not saying like I'm doing readings like that. I'm just saying like this is an example. And you're not in a relationship, then you wouldn't be holding on to that information, right? So then you have to ask yourself, why does the brain keep going back to this old situation, right? Because it may make you think of like a past relationship or something along those lines, right? And so with knowledge comes clarity and signs. And so you want to identify what's coming up in your reality and where is your mind drifting to, like, right? Because what you're watching is essentially a reflection of your own vibration in that moment. And so if you find yourself wanting to jump onto a lower timeline because the ego was triggered, you want to go back and identify, when did my ego get triggered? What were the steps that led up to that? And where is there a consistency that's continuing on in my reality, right? And so the reason why I'm identifying that is because some of you may find yourself in a mental loop, right? And the loop is designed for you to go back to sleep in the matrix. Like, it's actually constructed for you to fall back in line. And so I want you to identify and think of like what happened to the hippies of the 60s, right? What happened to those that did mind-altering experiments and found their true highest self, right? Gained the enlightenment, gained the education, but then didn't instill any of that into their children, right? Or it was a very limiting, and it was not as expansive as it could have been if they would have continued on that role. So in that process, find your own state of surrender, right? Find your own state of clarity through the signs that is going to resonate with you. That's for somebody out there. So as always, I'm just going to throw some cards and see what comes out. Go ahead and take a deep breath, and I want you to relax your shoulders because there is a lot of tightness in the shoulders and in the solar plex, right? So your manifestations could be quite messed up right now, or not coming into a full state of being, right? So the question is like, what is blocking it? What is the observation through your intention, through your meditation, bringing back to you, right? And then I want you to pause and reflect on what the earth is currently going through. And again, if you're an empathic soul, or if you're an indigo or a crystalline, or somebody with heightened senses of psychic abilities, right? I'm talking to my crew. You are helping also not only yourself, not only your family, not only your soul group, right? You're helping the planet raise its frequency. And so with a little bit of stated attunement and a conscious awareness, and when I say attunement, this is you with you. This has shit to do with me. It's not something I'm doing for you. You have to do this exercise yourself. I'm just planting the seed of enlightenment, right? It's like you have to get with you, and then you have to understand like what the planet is actually releasing. What's that energetic frequency? And as you identify it in yourself, you're not only picking a higher timeline, but you're also helping the planet kind of change its tuner, right? Because you have to think your vibration is super fucking potent. And if you are holding in the frequency of like the universe is always working in my favor, signs of enlightenment are all around me, I am the vibration of love, so the only mirrored reflection I'm seeing is the other vibration of love, and I know that person is operating out of truth and honesty and enlightenment, right? And you're like kind of setting those verbal intentions. And if you say it long enough, what happens is the body starts to believe it. The environment starts to believe it, right? Because the truth is like your ego is going to alter as you move about your reality, right? Your construct of whatever you've put into motion, right? Because however you're showing up is how the universe is reflecting to you. And if there is a state of resistance, then those things will have to be removed out of your reality because it is universal law, right? Everybody has the ability to choose two timelines. And the fact of the matter is you are put into a situation to offer the other individual two pathways. But if that person chooses to veer in the opposite pathway and become a non-residence to you, right? Like they're choosing to not be in the highest vibration of self. And so it's not your job to point it out. It's your job to then choose a higher timeline for self. And so when the wheel turns, because the wheel will turn, it is the law, right? The next environment that you manifest into your reality, you then again get to choose how you're responding to that environment in a positive higher timeline, or you can choose to respond in a lower vibration of what is your highest timeline. It can look like anything you want it to be, right? But you're consciously choosing which direction to go. And so it's the same thing for the planet. Every single day, every single human that's on the planet is essentially emitting a vibration, a frequency. And that's where the resonance of the reflection of the day-to-day, that's how it's constructed, right? If you think about it with like mass media, if I'm pushing out a particular vibration, then in those vibrations will continually be a reflection of that what I'm putting out. So it's not only just like, and before the way it was working is the largest number would win, right? But for every indigo and every crystalline that comes online, you essentially reflect a vibrational frequency of 100,000 to 500,000 regular people. So I just want to put that into a broadcasting vibration, right? For you to understand that when you stay in a higher vibration, you're literally helping out of the hole 100,000 to 500,000 people. And so as you raise your frequency, you then help others raise their frequency. And so I think that's the connection between signs and reflection of like who you are and how you're operating in the world. And I think so much of the time we underplay how strong emotion and vibration is, right? Because the first thing you're told is buck up, suck it up, let's go, right? Like, stop crying, just dust it off. And that was an instilled vibration, right? Or the opposite, families that like fed into the emotion, to the over emotion, right? So you're so raw and you're so sensitive because you've never built up your armor, right? And so think of the armor of the empathic soul, right? Because you are an open conduit. You're literally wide open, so you feel and see and take in everything. You are a sponge. Now flip that when you can actually control what your sponge absorbs, right? And then you step into your divine power of your psychic abilities. And you then become the observer of what is unfolding within you, within front of you. And you're separating mine versus theirs. And then you're able to adjust the tuner to where then you can help other spirits like transition into a different evolutionary cycle, right? When you're able to take away the emotion that's stuck in the body, you see it clearly, right? And you remove and shift it out. And if you can do that as an empathic soul for yourself, you can do it for others. And I think that's really where we're going as a society and as a higher mind of consciousness, right? Is like, here's the thing, right? Is if I can see it clearly and you can match my vision and you can see it clearly, then you can do it for other people also. If we're all doing the same thing at the same time, then we're by omission taking on and helping the collective raise its frequency, right? So that's kind of like where, I guess, where I'm moving towards. And where you should be moving towards too, right? Is like it always starts with self, then it starts with the planet, then it starts with the collective. And for those of us that have been dragging our ass, right, we could be a little bit behind the eight ball. But the catch is regardless, whenever you jump on the process, like you're then instantaneously helping others raise their frequency. So you're never late to the party. You're always right on time. So I would say like they want me to get a moon. I don't know. Hold on. These? There's something in the, so it says multi-dimensional and alchemy. I just split the deck. But they said there's something in here. And then I have one more that came from the top. Yeah, I am telling you, there's something with the planet. Something is unlocking with the knowledge. Like, look at this. I can't write this. It's literally like Gaia, the earth. Like, it's hella... Oh, well, we're not going there. I'll say it because it just popped up in my head. But there is a magic that is awakening within the collective consciousness now, like right now. And you're probably feeling it, in all honesty. Because it's going to be such a drastic shift. It's going to be undeniable. And people will feel it. And it's like what's dark and murky and has been keeping us stuck right? Those vibrations that have decided to sell their soul for recognition or for visibility are going to be seen as what it is, right? And like the collective as a whole will start shifting to a state of being of only what is in resonance with self. And so that is the mirrored reflection. So if you are a soul having a human experience and you are an old soul and you have reincarnated as an indigo, as a crystalline, right? You hold a lot of different gifts and a different way of seeing the current reality, right? You're choosing a higher timeline, although your environment you were birthed into actually had you in a very dense, very stuck energy, right? You experienced a lot of traumas and a lot of things to keep you heavier. And you found a way of peeling your own onion to coming into a state of wholeness, coming into a state of oneness. This is for you guys. And there's a shift into releasing the toxicity fully of the toxic feminine and stepping into a divine feminine energy. And this is not going to be for all, but this is going to be for the ones that have been doing the work over the last, like, I'd say 8 years. And those that you keep thinking, like, when is it coming? Why is it not here yet? What's going on? Why is there a delay? That is coming. And you may be very cold. And you may feel like drops in temperature. That is just your guides and like your body readjusting to the environment, right? I guess this is a full moon reading, and that took quite a bit to actually get out. It's not these, no. Sorry, they just changed it. I grabbed the wrong ones. Okay. One between now and new moon. New moon. And sorry, I didn't need to throw cards. They just wanted me to channel what the cards would have said. So that's where we're at. Your dreams need a practical plan. So, like, what will you start doing as you are releasing your past and stepping into your visibility of needing to be seen, right? And it's not necessarily needing to be seen. It's for the evolution of the greater collective. Like, what are you going to step aside that you took on as somebody else's story, right? Because, like, the truth is you were never shy. You were shushed into a corner, right? You were literally taught to be seen, not heard. Or you were told that it was wrong, right? But it was your truth. So it's actually right. Because it's however you visualize and see your reality to be. So it is you. That highest timeline is going to be, and these are opposites, by the way, the Taurus and Scorpio. So, like, as you're going through and executing and stepping into, like, what it is, what you're supposed to be doing, in regards to the vibration of the planetary alignment, as the planet is increasing its vibration, like, what is the frequency, the co-resonance that you are continually putting out there, right, on repeat? And then, like, how are you getting into a state of love, right? Because through your vibration, through you being love, being the vibration of love, like, it's kind of like that, like, you learn the vibration of self-love, right? Like, so you've constantly been omitting out into the universe, like, you love you, right? And whatever was blocking your solar plex, your third chakra, something unplugged there and it released. And so you may be seeing like 1111 or 3333 or 333 or 1133. Any combinations like that. 311, 113. It's kind of allowing your mainframe computer to like update, right? Whenever you see synchronicities, that you're not like going out and looking for them. Where you're not like, oh my God, it's da-da-da-da-da. Oh, I'm setting my alarm at 444. I always remember when it's 444. No, you literally set a timer and now your body remembers, oh yeah, ding, it should be dinging right now. Okay, yeah. You're essentially a mouse being trained. And so don't do that. Allow the matrix, allow the grid, allow the environment to show you what it needs to show you. And then you go through and find out like, okay, what was I doing when I saw that number? What is my reality reflecting to me? You're observing your signs around you and then meditate on it and ask and say, okay, I was talking about this, or this was on the radio. Is this what you guys meant to tell me? We're attuning for mediumship, for understanding inner guidance is essentially what this reading is for. So that you can see how, well, you guys are so funny. So you can see how far you are from the vibration of like love for another, right? If you look back at like what, okay, yeah, got it. They want you to like dissect your road to love, right? Just the way you did it for self-love, they want you to do the same thing for like love for another person. Like at what point was the love for another distorted by your environment? And as you're pulling that apart, you want to focus on your heart. Like, how does it feel? Like, what is that energy associated with? And then start closing the door and disconnecting the environment to the emotion, right? You say, I know I'm an adult now. I understand, like, I needed to learn that because of this. And I see where my emotions and my thought process of self, right? Because you learned self-love, you did all of those back things, how that came into play during that time. And I see now where I sit versus where I sat then. And I understand that I'm no longer there, right? And so like, and that's what I want. That's like the next step, essentially. And as you do that for yourself, do that for the earth, right? Not only for the earth's like nutrients, like its health, but do it for like how the vibration in the environment shifted, right? Because there was a point in time where the earth was at its heart-centered residence, right? How far are we away from that? What does that look like moving forward? And that's going to be different for each one of you, because you're going to have a different memory of the earth that is going to pop up for you, where you're going to dive in even deeper into a connection with the earth. And that layer is going to come through, right? Because each one of you is here to help the earth heal a different aspect of self, right? We are all soul family, but we all have different conditions that we're here to heal. And so like unfold that a little bit and journal and write that out. What else do you want me to tell them before I close this out? And I would say like this is like an unfolding. It could be a month moon cycle. It could be a quarter. It could be a yearly. That's entirely up to you guys, right? Like your guides are going to give you insight whenever you find this. This is a timeless reading. Although it's with a moon cycle, it's still a timeless reading. Yeah, it's all about you stepping into it. It's all of us stepping into the vibration of like connection. And her next phase, right? Her heart-centered consciousness. Yeah, it's big. So I'm going to leave that there. If something in this resonated with you, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. Until next time, be well, my friends. Ciao.